When I was younger, I used to wish I wake up an eagle. That animal is easily my favorite. Not because it can fly, as you're already thinking. You see, the eagle's eye is one of the strongest in the animal kingdom, with an eyesight estimated at about 4 to 8 times stronger than that of an average human. Little wonder when men that can see visions are treated as gods on earth. And Nelson Mandela said, when a woman rejects a man with vision and accepts a man with television, she ends up watching a man with vision on her husband's television. Then I begin to wonder how influential the director of the man with the vision on that woman's favorite television show must be. Hello, my name is Damilola Alije. Welcome to the BTS. Today on the show, we're going to be talking about the art of directing. We'll take a quick break and the BTS will continue with our guest on the show. Thank you for joining us. Welcome back to the BTS. Today we're going to be talking to Nigerian filmmaker Esof Oluseyi Amuwa. Esof has been in the film industry for years and he learned how to direct and produce films by watching YouTube videos. He has worked on several Nollywood productions as well as international projects. Today we're going to be talking to him about the art of directing. Hi Esof.
Hi darling.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
You look really good.
Maxi.
So we're going to go straight into it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you this question. What does directing, directing a film really mean to you?
To me, it means archiving stories, amazing stories for generations to see.
Basically, that's what directing means to you,
Yeah.
archiving stories.
And personally, it's a way of life for me because this is what I do for a living. Apart from me as Esof, the family guy, the business guy, film for me is a lifestyle. Like I live from my system to my bed, from my bed to my laptop to write. So for me, this is lifestyle.
Okay, so when you want to go into a film set, like Esof is ready to direct a film or produce a film, do you ever get nervous? Like, what's the feeling like when you wake up in the morning and you have a film set to go to?
On the day of the show?
Yes, on the day of the shoot. Maybe first day of resuming the shoot.
I think it's the same effect for every director, right? You can be over-prepared. There's a lot of madness that comes with film production. No matter how much you plan, some things can still shock you on the day of shoot, right? You also have to understand that as a director, you are like the author of the set, right? It means everybody on the set are pretty much just looking at you for like everything is fine. But in real life, in reality, there are bound to be situations that can go beyond your own control, and you have to hone it. You have to internalize it and still make it look like everything is fine to your crew, to your cast, without you making them feel like okay, there's a problem, even when there's a problem.
So this means that these actors can have certain personalities or can come with a persona that makes you feel like you can't do this.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So sometimes maybe after like one day or probably after rehearsal, like I'll use my case for example. On the set of Casanova, it was my first time of working with reputable. And my first time of meeting her, like sharing the script and running the script through with her before rehearsal, I literally had to beg her, like, Mama, even if we're on set and it looks like I'm scared or I look anxious, just ignore, just believe that everything I'm telling you is right and just make it easy for me.
Amazing.
And she was like, don't worry. I said, because we haven't worked together, it's a big deal that I'm sitting right in front of you. I've always gassed to work with her before Casanova, and I was like, so that effect is there. She was like, don't worry, so.
Great learning that, really. I never would have thought that as a director, that would happen.
It happens.
But if you now want to start directing a particular film or you want to start directing a particular project in Nollywood, looking at the kind of space that we have, what are the things that you have to put into consideration, you have to thoroughly think about before you really accept or be a part of that project?
As a producer or as a director?
No, we're talking about directing this time.
Okay.
So if you're working as a director and then you want to take on a project, What are the things you put into consideration before you take it on?
I think it's different for everybody, but for me, it's of Oluseyi. Two things are key to me: the story, one, two, the budget. And I'm not talking about my fee. I'm talking about the budget of the film, right? I've turned down more than, without exaggerating, I've turned down more than 20 projects in the last 18 months, right? Comfortably, just because the budgets weren't good enough for me to produce the kind of thing that I can put my name on.
Okay.
Right? In fact, most times I just like, it's not about my fee now. It's just that for the budget of the whole film, I don't see it getting to producing something that I can put so much of value, right? That I can own and say, yeah, that's my film. So if the story is good and the budget is very good, I'm not talking about my fee again, I mean the budget of the film, because I will ask you, okay, what's your plan? What's your marketing plan for the film? Do you want it to go to theater? You want to just dump it on VOD? Or you want to take it to TV? Or you want to just dump it online? And if you're going to theater, so what's the marketing budget? Because if you come and say you have 20 million naira budget for the film, 20 million naira looks so much for someone, right? But you want to take the movie to theater. How much of that 20 million naira are you spending on marketing and promotion? Do you understand? Because the success of the movie at the theater is based on the capacity of the noise of the film. And if you don't have budget for it, what would happen is that we end up shooting something that probably look good, but at the end of the day, it's a failure at the box office. And nobody want to do that. But if it's for online, yeah, I can say I'm off it. It's not what I want to put on my portfolio. I'll probably just produce my thing for TV or online than jump on a project, because my fee would just make it look impossible for me to be on the project. So for me, if the budget is good, because the budget determines is what determines how far we can go across the chain of production, from pre-production, from development, from production design to production, even post-production, right? People think post-production is cheap. Good post-production costs averagely $20,000 to $50,000. Yeah.
Amazing.
So when I say the budget, these are the things that I look out for, because once I have an idea of the budget and it looks good, I can tell, okay, this is how far we can push the production value to, and I can say, yeah, my name is on it. Do you understand? So if the story is very good and the budget is good, I'll jump on it.
Amazing. It's really fantastic that you talked about budgeting, because that then takes me into the business of filmmaking as a director. Do you think that Nollywood has the structure that it ought to have when it comes to the business of making film? Really, does it have the proper structure to put a great film that you can say, oh, okay, this is done and then it's fantastic? Does Nollywood have that structure as a director?
I can't give you a straight answer for that. One thing I can tell you is Nollywood is evolving, right? So it means there is high chance and possibility of it becoming better and bigger than what it is today, right? A lot of people that have been there before, they've done amazing work to make it as popular as it is today, right? In terms of structure, Nollywood also suffer from everything that Nigeria suffers from. Does Nigeria look like a structured country? So once you look at it from that aspect, whatever you make up of everything that is Nigerian, apart from the resilience of the people, because that's the best tool, that's the best product that Nigeria has, the human of Nigeria. And in one day, you have more than 700 production running across Nigeria. Just do the metrics. And you would have expected an industry that big to probably get support of government. But no, it doesn't. So how do you create structure for someone using their own money to take their own risk, like creating their own thing? How do you even say you want to create quality control? Because at the end of the day, my movie, the value on my movie is what I'm putting on it. So Mr. A can put 100 million naira on their movie, right? If I only have 5 million naira and I have crew that can do it, that can work under the same budget, cast that can work under the same budget, and I can produce my movie under 5 million naira, I'll produce my 5 million naira movie. How do you have a a central structure that regulates a 5 million naira budget film and 100 million naira budget film. Bear in mind, in the same industry, there are people that are spending over 200, 300 million naira on their films.
In Nigeria?
Yes.
In Nollywood?
Yes.
If I want to make a fantastic film, I want to make a fantastic project, and I need you to direct it, how much should I have?
Have enough to cover a good production. Some people's marketing budget is 50 million naira. And you would think it's so much. 50 million naira is a lot of money.
I think it's a lot of money.
Yeah, you think. I'm very sure there's some movies that you've seen across just Lagos, just one city. They've seen them on billboard, like more than 10 billboards across Lagos. I'm saying just Lagos. Average cost of running a 30 days on those billboards ranges between 700 to 1 million naira. Do sum it to 10 billboards. One billboard. The same movie will run on flyers, restaurants, TV, online, influencers. Right? So it gives you an idea that there's no fixed money, like there's no fixed budget. But at least have enough to say, average, let's say between 80 million naira and above. 80 million naira and above. Because from 80 million naira, you can say let's cap 30 million naira on promotion and marketing, which is still relatively small. If Omogeto, for instance, if they're spending 100 million naira on marketing and promotion, and you're spending 10 million naira on marketing and promotion, you will suffer. There's no two ways to it.
But why is it that expensive?
It's expensive.
Marketing
is expensive. Yoruba will say Ipolowo lo.
I can't help you there, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I can't help you there. So if I want to employ Asaf, now I'm talking to you like I'm a producer, you're the director. I want to, employ you to work for me as a director. How much will you charge me?
So I can tell you on camera, there are a lot of things that influence my fee, and that's when we're discussing project. Okay,
great. But it has to be substantial. It has to be substantial.
It needs to be. Your budget, no, just take it from the average budget that you need to have for your film, not about me this time around. Because the success of your film, I could say, you know what, don't pay me, give me kickbacks, give me points, back-end points on the film. If I'm the director of Omogeto and I have 10% stake on Omogeto as my fee, I'm good. Because if the movie has grossed over 500 million at the cinemas, exhibitor and distributors will take their share. The producer will take averagely maybe 250 to 300 million. 10% of that is 30 million naira. If I tell you, pay me 30 million naira to direct Omogeto, would you give me such money? No. But it will also take me a lot of balls for me to say, you know what, I don't want fee, I want back-end deal for Omogeto, because I would have seen that, okay, the producer, they have a good marketing plan and it looks like this movie is going to make money. So rather than me shorting myself by charging you a fee, I would rather take some points.
So obviously you look like a director that knows his onions, which is amazing, because
I'm just a businessman.
Which is why we're here, and then we want to be able to talk about the business aspect to all of this. And we know that you're one of the best in Nigeria, point of view, we know. But really, what makes you better than others in terms of what you do as a director?
So nothing makes me better than others, and I don't even think I'm better than anybody in the industry. In Nollywood, I'm less than 3 years. I'm just hustling like every other people. It's just that for my kind of film, or for my portfolio, I decide the kind of story that I jump on. If it's not adding value to my work as Asaf Oluseyi, I don't do it. And that's why I can count the number of films that I've produced in the last 4 or 5 years. Okay. And there's other producers that have done multiple works within the same space. Nothing says one is better. It's just that the interest, our independent reason for going into filmmaking is just different. For me, I prioritize the business side of it, and I put value on the creative side of it. So if the business is good, I know what to do to raise the creative space, right? I know how to hire the best guys, cast the best talent, right? Put in a lot of work in the post-production phase, at least before it gets out. and then we can guarantee you of at least something good enough that we can all be proud to say, yeah, I was part of that project.
Okay. Let's talk about Ife now. Ife was a film where you were the cinematographer on the film, you were the DOP, but then you were more out there. People knew that Asop was on that project. Why did you decide, knowing that the film has, you know, a lot of controversy around it, and seeing the old storyline and everything, why did you decide to take the project in the first place?
So I'm a sucker for uncommon stories, right? Okay. Or stories that are very strong that not everybody wants to tell. Because how can you be successful doing the same thing that everybody is doing? It means the competition level is higher, right? What is the first story about? It's a love story. Pretty much that's what it is, right? The difference is it's not from a guy to a girl or a girl to a guy. It was from a girl to a girl, right? Is the story true? Yes. Do we have lesbians in Nigeria? Yes. Are they human? Yes, they are. Do they breathe like us? Yes, they do. Are they successful like us? Yes, they do. And why are we not telling the story? Oh, someone will say because we have homophobic law. Because that is what it is. Because it trumps over human rights law, right? And maybe it will affect your career. How? I'm a storyteller, that's my job. Do we have laws against corruption or not?
We do.
Yes, we do. Do we have corrupt characters in our films or not?
We do.
Yes, we do. Do we have bad cops or not? Yes, we do. Do we have bad cops as character in our movie? Yes, we do. Do we have laws against prostitution in Nigeria? Yes or not? Yes, we do. Why do we have prostitutes as characters in our movies? Why do we tell stories around prostitution? So if this doesn't make sense to you, then what exactly is the reason why I can't tell a story, a love story between a girl and another girl? And maybe the reason why we kind of have certain opinion about it is because we don't have so much stories in that line, because our belief system is based on what we see every day. You and I haven't seen Jesus if you are a Christian, but you believe in Jesus. Do you know why? Because you grow up learning about Jesus. Since you were born, they tell you Jesus, Allah. And that informs your belief system. Since you were born, you were told you are a boy. And in science, you learn, okay, boy, you have this and this. Oh, yeah. And that makes you a boy. And that forms your belief system. If you grow up being told that it is a taboo for a girl and a guy a guy and a guy to be together and a girl and a girl to be together, obviously you grow up believing, you make it up as your belief system. But is it true? If it's not true and nobody wants to tell the story, I want to tell the story.
Great. But do you think the Nigerians are in that mental space to be able to start accepting this kind of things, this kind of people?
One of the mistakes that we make in Nigeria is we make popular opinion right reality, right? The same Nigeria, I don't know if you've seen Empire.
I have.
Yo, it was consumed massively by Nigerians. The favorite character on Empire was an LGBT character.
Yeah.
Like in every Nigerian love, we all have empathy for that character. I mean, people that still have phobia for LGBT or gay, queer, and all of that, they still love I've forgotten the name of the character.
I think there was Jamal.
Jamal.
He's not Jamal.
The fine guy.
I've forgotten his name.
Do you understand?
But I know.
That guy.
Yeah.
Do you understand? We all love the character. These are Nigerians. We all have Netflix accounts. We consume every LGBT themed film on Netflix, as in we consume it so fine. We don't have opinion. Do you know why? Because the creators and the environment where those films were created, these are environments where the large population of those environments accept this as norm, right? So we don't complain. But when a Nigerian decided to do such film, we all come out with our opinion. That's why I use the word popularity over reality. In realism, Nigerians watch LGBT films that are foreign films. But if it's made by Nigeria, we just don't want a Nigerian producer or a director to do it.
Yeah, that's it. I really agree with you, and I think that That has said
And
a lot
linking it to
about
what I was saying, that if everybody is doing comedy, what will stand me out? We're having this conversation because I was part of the crew that did Ife. We're not talking about every other movies that I did that it was love between a man and a woman. Do you kind of have an idea what I mean about, like, if nobody is telling the story and the story is unique, I want to tell it, as long as they are human stories.
Now I think I get an idea of the things that enhances your creativity, but I'll really like you for you to spell it out. So what are the things that enhances your creativity as a director, as a filmmaker in general? Realism,
nature, people. One thing that is set up for me when I'm developing a project is honesty. I try as much, which is why I do a lot of research when I'm developing my project. But I haven't shot another film from my company since 2016. That's about almost 5 years ago. Even though the name has been up out there, looks like we're creating, we haven't done. And we've been on a story that we've been like really crazy about telling for almost 2 years now, right? And why are we not doing it? It's not because of budget. It's because we're doing a lot of research, learning more, traveling, doing survey, and all of that to better be as honest as possible to the story, right? So honesty to the story would drive the interest to want to learn about the characters, the soul and the struggle of the characters, right? Because if you don't understand this, how do you tell the story? If you don't understand how the mind of a Nigerian police function, you will only tell a Nigerian police story from the point of view of what people talk about Nigerian police, right? The trigger guys, they are also human. They have family, right? They have kids, they have wives, they have family members that are suffering, that are calling them every day for money. They are also a product of the society, so they are like you and I. So how best do you tell a character, not a Nigerian police character, without just boxing it around just what we know of? Oh, it's somebody that have to stop on the road, and oh yeah, give me money. And if somebody decides to go in depth in learning about the life and struggle of a Nigerian police and what triggers that bullshit off them, you will better tell a story of a Nigerian police than every other person.
So are we saying
that's why I link it to being honest to the story. Is it for me.
So are we saying that you're currently making a story on Nigerian police?
Yes, not in Nigeria, but Nigerian police.
Okay.
I have a work I have a project in line that we've been on for almost 3 years now. It's a cross-border story. 70% French, so 30% English, and I don't live in the Francophone country. I don't speak French, and it's not an excuse for me to fail in telling that story. And if you've noticed, if you follow me, you will notice last year I was frequent around France and Paris, just in. So when I say I do a lot of research to learn and all of that, and before the movie, and all of this make up for budget of the film.
Right.
Is our next project of the stable of ASOF Films. Hopefully we should be going into production this year.
Fantastic. So I have like 2 more questions though. The one question that I'm going to ask you is that, what is the one film that you made, of all the films that you've made, that you never thought would be a commercial success? Or did you think everything was going to be a success?
That I made?
Yes, you've made.
So on Solo, it's just one film, Akunde. And I knew while writing that we're going to make money. So I wasn't surprised when we did. Because we had a super business plan. Akunde wasn't supposed to go to the cinema. We have a design on how to make money from Akunde. Do you understand? And when we switched to go to cinema, it was on marketing. It was just for marketing, because our exhibiting plan was to take it across campuses, right? And we don't want to go to campuses and tell students that this movie is coming to your campus, and they will be like, okay, why is the movie not at the cinema? So maybe the film is shitty. That's why they're bringing it to students, to schools, right? That was why we went to cinema. Right. Every other design, every other exhibiting platform that we planned for Akunde was a success. So when we made money at the end of the film, I wasn't so surprised. I was actually surprised that we made the kind of money that we made at the cinemas, because it was in the year where every indies were making, like they were making less than 10 million naira at the cinemas. Most especially people that were telling the kind of story. They were not doing comedy. So you already know you were not going to make money.
Amazing. So I want to ask a question. So in Nigeria, everybody seems to be doing everything. You see music video directors thinking they can direct film, and then you see film directors thinking they can do music videos. Are they really the same? Do they do the same thing?
No, they don't.
Okay, care to explain?
The principles are different, right? So it's like saying, can the police be army? Do you understand? As much as their job is, it kind of relates, it requires different mentality, right? For music video, the success of it is not in the hand, it's not fully in the hand of the director, right? The artists play a major role. A Davido video, musical video, can be directed by anybody if you're good. It will still have the same views like the one by Clarence, right? On the film side, it's a different thing entirely. And when it comes to the principles, it's different. For musical video sets, all it requires good lighting, amazing production design, nice environment. They don't have issue with this breeze the way we were struggling. They don't have issue with bad light. In fact, if the weather is changing, they can play it into the aesthetics of the shoot, right? For film director, it takes a lot. If you have a bad sound, you have a bad project. If you have a bad talent, you have a bad project. In musical video, you just need somebody that can smile and have a beautiful face in front of the camera. They don't necessarily have to be an actor or a vixen, right? The song already plays the premise. So the work and the principles and their approach of telling the story is quite different. But yeah, there's some musical video directors that are going beyond just style, right? In the work, by infusing narrative into their work, like Ajay, the likes of Ajay, Mo Musa, and a few other guys like that that kind of adopt narration into musical video. Same thing applies to some film directors. Film directors who sometimes always feel like they can direct musical video. Go check it out. It's always a failed video. It's always terrible because in their mind they want to take from close up, or they want to do all the coverage. If you are on a musical video set, they don't do full coverage. Maybe the first verse will be what they're doing all this coverage for. The second verse will be another coverage, and all of that. We as a film director, we're not trained in that form. You have to do your coverage by sense. So you see why I said the principles are different. And nothing says that you can see musical video director migrating into or evolving into film, or film director evolving into musical video. After the transition, you have to stay in one place. If not, we will know. If I watch a video that was directed by a film director, a musical video that was directed by a film director, I can tell, that's from a film director. That's not a musical video director. Like handshake is normal in musical video. You can't do that on a film set. That's an error. Do you understand? Bad sound on a musical video is normal. Bad sound on a film set is not normal. So musical video budget is like our full movie budget. Do you understand? So that's why I try to use army and police. It doesn't mean that one is better. If army misbehave, it's police that will say police army. Do you understand? They play different role, although their work is kind of similar, but the principles and approach to doing the job is quite different.
At the end of the day, does the director have the final say?
Yes, the director have the final. In the same situation, the director should have the final say. In terms of the creative, like that's everything that makes up of a creative work, right? The director should have the final say because the director is the author of the work. Like, that's why they make a film by, right? Even though it was written by it was produced by different people, it was acted by different people, but it's the director's work because before the production, all the director had was a script and text and a white paper. And he was able to transform that into something visually appealing and meaningful to the audience. So he is like the god, he or she is like the god of the work. So, and he or she should have a final say, right? But I use the word in the same the situation whereby producers don't allow the director have see even the final call before executing, because directors too can be stubborn to want to be sure that the work comes out the way they can defend it outside, and it might not work in how the producer feels like they can solve it.
Great. I wanted to ask this question, but again, I was thinking maybe I shouldn't. Nigeria has a Directors Guild Association. For an industry whereby 80% of the filmmakers are indie filmmakers, how really does the guild work?
I think the guild works for the members, right?
Okay.
Again, as Nigerian, we are very stubborn human, right? We complain too much. We always see problems in spaces that we don't really play. Example, most of the people that complains about politics, politicians, Nigerian government and all, don't go out to vote, right? But the result of that is that we are going to have people in the government that will make policies for all of us, and we will all suffer it. Same thing applies to the guild and the members. In fact, 90% of the directors on the guild, I'm also guilty of this, right, are directors that are in the TV film market share, right? Most of your, I know too well, directors, right, are not in the guild. And when you ask them why, they complain and say, they don't have structure, they don't have this, they don't have that. But you're not there. How do you know? It's like someone that says, I hate watching Nollywood movies because the last film that they saw was in 1998 or in 2002. So they still judge the industry based on that, right? That's why I said, even I'm also, I'm not exempted from this situation.
So you're not also a part of the guild?
Right. So I think the guild works, it grows every year, every day. So I kind of have this feeling that the guild works for the member, right? If you see anybody complain about the guilds, probably those that are not member, that are directors that are not member of the Directors Guild.
Are you a member of the guild?
To be honest, I'm not, but I'm trying to apply and join the guild.
Okay. So maybe if we see people or more people join the guild, maybe
we can contribute. If we can get a lot of directors, good directors, all directors pretty much join the guild, you can suggest, you can contribute to what you think should be the things that they need to do to make it look better, right? Go and add your solution that you have, the ideas that you have in your head. Go and add it by joining the guild. So this again, I'm also guilty of it, and I hope to join the guild soon.
Thank you so much, Asaf.
You're welcome,
it's really been an exciting moment discussing with you. As you can see, it wasn't regular questions.
Yeah, I kind of.
Sure. Did you enjoy the questions?
I had fun with sex.
That's like what we're trying to do with the BTS. We're trying to
ask
questions that are not the norm.
And well done for all you do.
Thank you.
On the show.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate that you've allowed us to come and interview you. We're so grateful, and we look forward to all the things that you're going to be doing in a fantastic way. Yeah, thank you. So I just finished an interview with Asaf on the BTS. We talked to him about the art of directing and really basically talk about his work and everything that he does behind the scene. That's the essence of the show. We aim to talk to people who are doing fantastic work behind the scene, be it in music, film, fashion, everywhere, as long as it's a creative process. So remember that if you have questions or comments on the things that we do, follow us on all of our social media platforms at iBrandTV.com, Twitter at iBrandTV, Instagram at iBrandTV. My name is Damilola Alije. See you next week.